Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. My name's Dave, and I've got gray hair, hence the name. That's where it came from. Today, I'm also wearing another one of my green shirts that looks just about like the guy in the artwork. Mine has the logo on it, though, and his does not. Anyways, so today, folks, is, in my world, March 13th, 2024. 19. Yeah, okay. I've been talking a lot about 1971 this week, and I want to stick with 1971 this week. And what was going on in that summer. Did you know that during that summer, and this was the coolest time to grow up in my mind, in the 60s and 70s, because we got to watch NASA evolve and strive and end up taking care of JFK's proclamation. We will send a man to the moon and return him safely to the earth by the end of this century. Now that came out in the 60s. It was, I think, 1960 or 61. And so NASA became the leader in the space race, chasing the Russians at the time, the USSR, to the moon. And of course, we won. In 1969, we did land on the moon, but that was Apollo 11. Apollo 15 landed on the moon in 1971. And it was kind of cool. But, the strange thing is, we'd done that. So viewership of the moon landings and all the things that they did on the moon were starting to diminish because of the fact that, we'd seen it so much already. And people just forgot how much work it was for us to get there and keep going there. And the technological advances that have come from that, they help us today. I mean, the technology from back then to today everything is shrinking. Don't get me wrong. The computers that it took to get the man to the moon could be, were the size of a house back then, and now they're like the size of a laptop or an iPad or a cell phone. So I remember in 69 watching the moon landing. That was something special. It really, really was. To put another human being, two of them, on the moon. Who thought it was going to happen? Nobody did. Nobody thought it could happen. And there are those out there today who still think it was a hoax. Folks, if you think it was a hoax, you think it was a hoax. I think it was real. Okay? Each of us are entitled to our own opinions, and no matter what the other one thinks, they are allowed that opinion. Okay? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. And I don't want us to be a world where, because you don't agree with what I'm thinking, so because you don't like what I'm thinking, you're absolutely wrong. There's always more than one. You get 8 people in a room, you're going to get 8 different opinions. I so dislike the disharmony and the hate people have for each other nowadays, because they don't agree with what they think. What I think. I think that you should be doing this, and Sam over here says, I think you should be doing this. So because you don't like what I think, I hate you. You're wrong, and you have to go away. What the heck? Anyways, I didn't want to get back into that. But it was so much different back then. Watching a man go to the moon. I remember during the 60s when there was a launch of the rocket during school hours, they would take us all to the auditorium to watch a TV on stage, on the stage of in the auditorium. And here, here's 300 kids trying to watch this 25-inch TV. But we did it. The space race, always something I was interested in. Always, always, always. I always thought NASA was so cool. So now that we've gotten through that, also during the summer of 1971, there was the U.S. lowered the voting age to 18 from 21, which made a lot of sense. If you could go serve your country and die in Vietnam, why couldn't you have the right to vote, let alone drink? The drinking age changed from 21 to 18 a couple of years later, which made me very, very happy. May not have made my parents or anybody else's parents very happy, but it made me happy. But the voting age changed, so I got to vote when I turned 18. I thought that was really great. And there were just things that were changing. It was fun to watch. And what else was happening? And I'm getting some of this off the internet. Don't get me wrong. So let's get into some of the facts from back in the day. Okay, the average cost of a new house, was about, this is in the summer of 71, around this time. Average cost was $25,000 for a house. You can't build a garage now for $25,000 down here in Florida. The average income was around $10,600. The average monthly rent for an apartment, you can believe this, $150. I remember when I moved out of my mom and dad's house when I turned 8, after I graduated high school, and I was already working at the paper mill for quite a while. I moved out, and I think my rent was a couple $100. Yeah, and that was in 76, 75, 76. So, you really can't complain too much. Here's what's going to kill you, folks. So today, I haven't gone out yet today, but yesterday on the way home, I think the price of gas was $3.34 down here by Disney. In 1971, the national average price for a gallon of gas was 36 cents. I remember when I was a kid and we'd go cruising, you and your friends, we'd grab mom's car, or mom or dad would let us use the car. We had our own at the time. You each put in $1 and you could drive for days. You could. And it went up a little bit, but it was so inexpensive back then. I can't even fathom that now. What I just can't, and I look back, the year I was born, 1957, it was 30 cents a gallon. The year I graduated high school in 1975, 53 cents a gallon. When I got married in 1980, the first time, 86 cents a gallon. And in 1990 was around the first time it topped $1. And we all thought the world was coming to an end. I'll tell you what, that was crazy. In music, Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven was played live for the first time in Belfast. I loved Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. Man, oh man. It was so cool because it started out slow, and then in the middle, it just sped right up, got you moving. And I remember there was this girl I used to dance to that with at one of the bars I used to go to all the time, and that was the only dance we ever did together. And we didn't know each other all that well, but we knew each other well enough for that dance. I think we'd gone to school together, but she was a cute little thing, and I love that song, Stairway to Heaven. I'm going to have to pull that up in a little bit, folks, and listen to that. Muhammad Ali in boxing, 31 fight win streak ends by Joe Frazier at Madison Square Garden. My fight was called the fight of the century. Oh man, it's just so many things going on. Did you know at the end of March in 1971, Starbucks was founded? Now I'm going to look it up for tomorrow, but can you imagine how much Starbucks was back then compared to today? I want to know what it is, so I'm going to look it up. And for you, I'm going to look it up. So that's all I've got for today, folks. It's starting to get a little noisy around this house. I do live with other people, just so you know. And there are dogs and everything else. So from Gray Hair Dave, you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.